as you've now seen by the title, I might be going to jail. Okay, probably not. Those are fake tears. I'm good at making myself cry. Fran does not like when I cry. Okay, but seriously, y'all, this is a potential hazard for my life. So I still might be going to jail because what I did was illegal, technically. Not even technically, it was just straight up illegal. And it was caught on CCTV. I probably shouldn't even tell you this because this is the evidence of me confessing to the crime. It just happened. I went to Trader Joe's to get my weekly rations of tortillas. And that's when I saw them. The wreaths outside. And I said to myself, sorry, oh, you know, Alex and I were wanting a Christmas tree, but they're so expensive and we have no money. So maybe a wreath would be a good compromise, a fresh, great smelling wreath. So I said, you know what? Yes, I'm gonna buy a wreath for us. But the problem is the wreaths were really big. And I don't like using carts because especially at Trader Joe's, it is super busy at my Trader Joe's. And so it's just such a nightmare to try and use carts, right? So I never do. I had my reusable shopping bag. And so I was going to just go in with that. But if I had grabbed the wreath, because it was outside of the store, if I had grabbed the wreath, okay, Fran keeps jumping on the table. It's not allowed. Even if you're worried about me, it's not allowed. So stop. If I had grabbed the wreath from outside where they had it, I would have had to carry it around the whole store with me. And I didn't really want my hands getting sticky. So if I put it in my bag, then I wouldn't have had enough room for my groceries. Because I was getting a couple other things other than my weekly tortilla ration, okay? So I was like, oh, I have an idea. I'll just go to the cashier and say, hey, do you think you could ring me up for a wreath? And then I'll walk outside and grab wreath on my way to car. So this was the plan. This was the plan. So everything was going according to plan. I get up to the cashier and I say, what I just told you, hey, could you ring me up for a wreath, please? And he's like, a wreath? Yeah, okay. And I'm like, great. So he's trying to figure out, he's like, oh, what was it called? I'm like, a wreath? And he's like, oh, was it called what did he call it? Like the bow bunch? And I'm like, I don't know, maybe. It just said wreath. And he's like, okay, it must be this. And so he tapped a button and it was something weird called like the bow bundle or something like that. And I was like, whatever, I want a wreath. So I walked outside and the bow bundle wasn't the wreath, but I had told him the wreath, the circle thing, the wreath, the holiday wreath, you know. There was a bundle, just like a bundle of twigs with, you know, evergreen pines on them, you know. And it was tied with a bow. That was the bow bundle. That was $2 less than the wreath. So I had two options. I could go back into Trader Joe's, say, hey, can you charge me random, like take off that and then charge me for the wreath? Or I could just grab the wreath and run. I just grabbed the wreath and ran.